everybody, it's me, Robert, the Rockin' Realty Guy, and if you're a real estate agent, then today I'm gonna give you 3 tips to help you stand out from the rest of your competition, so stay tuned. I am still amazed by the number of agents that don't know their local zip codes. If you show up and you're talking to a potential seller or a potential buyer and you say you're a market specialist, but then you have to ask them what the zip code is for the property that you are currently looking at selling or purchasing, you lose a little bit of trust. If you want to set yourself apart, know where you're at. Okay, tip number 2, know your contracts. If you're sitting down with a potential seller or a potential buyer and they ask you a question about something in the contracts and you have to turn around and say, well, let me read that real quick for a second and see what it says for myself. It makes it seem like you've never seen that contract before. So again, tip number 2, take some time, study those contracts, know what you're talking about. Okay, now it's time for the 3rd and final tip, and to be honest with you, this is probably the most important out of the 3. And let me tell you what the tip is by telling you a small story. Just a few days ago, I got a phone call from a potential seller wanting to put their property on the market, and they said, Robert, we're going to talk to a couple more agents just before we make a decision. I said, cool, not a problem. Well, I followed up with them again yesterday, and they said, Robert, we're going to hire you. And I said, that's fantastic, but what happened to those other agents? And they said, well, we talked to 2 other agents in town, and they said, to be honest with you, they weren't very responsive and not very enthusiastic. So look, my 3rd tip is just care a little bit. I mean, obviously you want to care a lot, but I'm getting that listing because I like what I do and I showed up. So again, show up, know where you're at, know your zip codes. Number 2, show up, know your contracts. And number 3, show up in the heart. Show up emotionally, care about what you do, it goes a long way. Those are 3 very important ways to differentiate yourself from all the competition that's out there. Look, you don't have to get a tattoo on your neck. You don't got to be the Rockin' Realty Guy. You do what you got to do to be you. See you next time.